The natural world is amazing. Just like a business, its success depends on connection and collaboration between elements in order to thrive. Here's a quick bit of science for you. Millions of years ago, plants and trees didn't have any roots. They traded sugars generated through photosynthesis in exchange for nutrients foraged by an underground network of fungus. They still rely on this network today. It's called mycelium, and plants use it to talk to each other, collaborate, and share resources. It's also referred to as the wood wide web. Motivated by its need for sugar, the fungal web uses this communication to maintain the health and well-being of the entire ecosystem. So, what if we followed nature's lead? What can businesses learn from the world's oldest organization?
Every few years, British oak trees coordinate through the wood wide web to produce a bumper crop of acorns. They do this to ensure the best return of investment for each acorn. If they didn't produce an abundance of acorns in a single year, squirrels and other animals would eat them as they go, rather than store them in places where the acorns have a chance of growing into mighty oaks. In other words, if they didn't coordinate their efforts, it wouldn't be possible for them to thrive.
Human businesses tend to operate individually. They can be blind to the rich opportunities for collaboration that exist all around them, and blind also to the wake of destruction they leave behind them. This is an egocentric view, not an ecocentric view. Ecology is the study of the relationships between living beings, and what we need right now is an ecological mindset, one where we can perceive and benefit from the opportunities for collaboration all around us, where we tread carefully to avoid harming other parts of the ecosystem, and one where we are rewarded from knowing that our work has a positive impact for the world as a whole.
When it comes to the food industry, not only does this way of working increase efficiency and profit, but it also helps attract and retain more motivated teams. It's not about being bigger, it's about being better, and that's where Tried and Supplied comes in. Imagine an ecosystem designed entirely around the food industry, one that facilitates better connection and collaboration between companies. I'll give you an example.
Tom is a chef at a large contract caterer. He spots that this week the fish he would normally order from his supplier is out of stock. He checks to see if he can find it from another supplier he sometimes works with. But then he spots that his normal supplier has a special on that day for a different type of fish. It looks like a good alternative and is offered at a great price. While checking out the specials, he notices that if he spends over a certain amount with this supplier, he can choose to add some salmon skins for free. These would otherwise go to waste, and he can see them going down really well as sustainable and tasty snacks for his corporate client. Ria is the general manager at an independent restaurant that is part of a small group spread across the Cotswolds. The group has negotiated some good prices from suppliers off the back of their consolidated spend and ordering habits. Now she wants to place an order for whiskey, which she knows will come from their supplier in Scotland. So she asks the other restaurants in the group if they need any, and also puts a message out to other restaurants in the Cotswolds to see if they would like to join her order. The Scottish supplier receives a coordinated order from 7 Cotswolds restaurants and is able to offer them all a saving on delivery and a reduction on carbon emissions. Sahil runs his own cafe and deli in Birmingham. He's placing his regular order when he spots a fantastic deal on frozen cookie dough from a supplier he hasn't worked with before. The dough is Great Taste Award winning and gluten-free, but a whole batch of it has suffered from freezer marks and can no longer be sold through retail. He buys the batch to try it with his customers. It's low risk, but goes down like an absolute storm and at a significant margin to him. He picks up with the supplier to order more for his customers. The following week, he realises he has over-ordered on milk and decides to try ordering the milk as a special to other caterers in his local area. The care home down the road takes up the offer, and Sahil makes back some of the money he would have lost through spoilage. Jill is the commercial director at a local authority in Scotland. She uses the FoodWeb platform to allow multiple local suppliers to access their council contracts and fulfill their demand collectively. The size of her spend encourages local farmers to diversify their crop base and develop more sustainable farming practices. Adwin is the supply chain and sustainability manager for a meal kit provider. He knows their customers are concerned they are eating as sustainably as possible and wants to reassure them. He uses Trident Supply's ecosystem to access all sustainability and nutritional information for each of their recipes, and even shares supplier stories with them via a QR code on each box. Their customers are impressed by their efforts to ensure a sustainable supply chain, and referrals start pouring in. At the end of the year, they can even send customers an impact report.
This is the connected, collaborative ecosystem that Tried and Supplied is building. The natural world is amazing. So is your business. See how a better ecosystem could help you thrive.